improvements only seek to ensure that it is patriots administering on Hong Kong. And it is only when that is assured then we could ensure the stability and prosperity of Hong Kong. We could effectively safeguard Hong Kong SAR's constitutional order under the Basic Law, and we could also effectively resolve those deep-seated problems in Hong Kong and achieve Hong Kong's prosperity.
Joseph Cheng, an expert in politics. He's joining us from the Australian capital, Canberra. And Mr. Cheng, thanks for being with us here on the News Hour. Now, as China holds its National People's Congress and makes decisions on what happens in Hong Kong, are we seeing the end of what we understood as one country, two systems?
Yes. I think both Hong Kong people, and especially those who support the pro-democracy movement, see this as the end of the one country, two systems model. And in fact, the international financial community has reacted to this, and they certainly indicated that they share this kind of judgment. The lack of democracy means that the pro-democracy movement not only cannot hope to fight meaningful electoral campaigns in capturing a majority in the legislature, in assuming a significant role in the election committee, which is going to elect the chief executive and so on. We also see that the independence of the judiciary is being compromised. So this is pretty bad for Hong Kong. And I think Hong Kong people will remain very angry, very unhappy with the situation, but we do agree that at the moment there's not much action that the pro-democracy movement can adopt, or there are not too many short-term policy objectives that they can achieve.
No, absolutely. As Joel was mentioning, the word election seems a bit euphemistic in the context of Hong Kong right now. But I do wonder, Mr. Cheng, as we all know, Hong Kong officially becomes a part of China in 2047. So I was thinking, why now has Beijing sought to exert so much control, like a quarter of a century before the official handover?
Well, at the height of the riots in the second half of 2019, it was demonstrated in the district council elections at the end of the year that despite the very unfavorable electoral system, the pro-democracy movement might hope to capture a majority of seats in the Legislative Council with the help of an extremely high voter turnout rate. This alarmed the Chinese authorities. The Chinese authorities believed that they could not accept such a scenario, and they therefore prepared to impose the national security law, which was implemented at the end of June last year. And at the moment, most of the candidates on the part of the pro-democracy movement who intended to run in the elections, in the Legislative Council elections, originally scheduled last September, are now being prosecuted and they are detained. And therefore, on one hand, there will be a change of the system. And at the same time, there apparently is an intention to wipe out the pro-democracy movement on the part of the Chinese authorities.
Okay, Joseph Cheng, on what may be a very pivotal moment for the future of Hong Kong. We appreciate your analysis, sir.